I'm Michelle COYLE, CEO of BGSD Strategies, and we help queer entrepreneurs start up and scale. And today we're going to talk about how to find new business opportunities even in the middle of a crisis. Listen, some of the most successful business ventures of all time were launched in the middle of recessions. Believe it or not, conditions like these are jam-packed with opportunity for people who know how to look and know how to find it and know how to invest their time and their money very strategically, very wisely, and do really, really amazing things. But how do you find that? Where do you even start? That's what we're going to talk about today, right now. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is really center on getting past your limiting beliefs around this. You know, when we work with queer entrepreneurs, people tend to be progressive, come out of that space. There can be some negative stories around this. You can hear some things from your friends that kind of get in your mind around, oh, you're capitalizing on people's pain, or you're a bad person, you're an evil person to do this. And if you let those kind of thoughts enter your brain, they're going to shut you down. You're not going to really be able to do anything. You've got to think differently about it. You've got to realize that why you're doing what you're doing is centered in helping people, and that the bigger that your business gets and the more money you bring in, the more people you're going to be able to employ, the more people you're going to be able to help with your product and service, and the bigger your impact is going to be. That is not a bad thing. It's a really, really good thing. And right now is the time that people need leadership, people need inspiration, and people need people like you to step up and show them what can be done when somebody has a good idea and a good heart and is ready to put a little bit of hustle into it. So get past that thinking that it's bad or evil. I promise it's not. It's just neutral. And if you're a good person, you can do really, really, really good things using these types of tools. All right, so speaking of helping people, this is kind of the second thing that I want you to think about when you're looking for opportunity. All successful businesses, if you really think about it, come down to somebody who was able to identify a market need and meet the need and do something helpful for people. So think about who you want to help and exactly what they need right now. What are they missing? Now, especially when conditions have changed like they have recently, there may have been needs that were being met before by something that suddenly cannot be met now. There's a lot of examples of that. If you think about, needs that were met by travel, needs that were met by social gathering, that are now being totally mitigated or erased, or at least it's not really safe to do those things, or not entirely safe. How can we meet those same needs, and what can we do, and what could be creative to go ahead and get people feeling the way that they felt before when they were able to do those things? So once you have identified a need like that, what I want you to do is just sit down and do a little brainstorm. Think of all of the other existing products or services that are currently meeting that need, that maybe used to meet that need, that kind of meet that need, or maybe not fully, but something that, kind of, what are people doing right now to get that need met, even if it's not the perfect solution? How are they kind of filling that gap? And then you're going to kind of look for those gaps or holes between what the need is and what already exists and what's being met. So sometimes there's a need that's being met a little bit, or it's not being met well enough, or sometimes there's a need that's being met for one group of people but not another. Great examples of these lately are, there have been products that came out, that were designed by women for women around, new bras, new better bras coming out. For people who have periods, there's been a whole rash of new period products that came out, because everyone said that would be the same old tampon has existed for centuries. I don't know, but here, let's do something different. There's been some really cool innovations around underwear for trans and non-binary people, saying, you know what, the existing underwear on the market didn't really meet the needs of trans people, didn't really meet the needs of non-binary people, so let's come out with something that meets those needs. So think about that. What actually exists, and is it kind of janky, and is there a way to do it better, or a way that does it that actually meets the need for a specific group of people? So, and then once you kind of have that idea sketched out, I want you to verify that that need actually exists. So a lot of times you'll have an idea in your head and you'll say, oh, I think this type of person needs this, or I'm this type of person and I need this, and so everyone else that's like me must also want and need this. Well, maybe, right? But we want to, that's a hypothesis, right? And we need to verify it. So as much as you can start to do some research around that, and I know if you're a startup or an entrepreneur, you probably don't have an endless market research budget. You're not going to be able to do what a big company would be able to do in terms of market research, but you can do some limited surveying. You could do quantitative surveying with a tool like SurveyMonkey, where you go out and you try to get, 100 people in your target to answer questions and see, are they really feeling the way you think that they're feeling, or the way you assume that they're feeling. You can also do qualitative research, where you're just interviewing people in your target market and say, hey, I have this idea. What do you think about this? Do you like this? If you have a product, a prototype, you can show people, see if they have ideas how to make it better. And you really want to be listening for those things that occur over and over. Not necessarily something one person says is a direction that you're going to want to go all the way in. But if you talk to 20 different people and 7 of them say the same thing, well, that's something to really start to pay attention to. Okay, so once you've kind of verified that that need actually exists within your group and that people actually want to pay for a solution to that need, then you got to figure out what would it really take to meet that need. So if you're talking about a service, is this something that you are already qualified to provide or know how to provide? Or is this something that you can hire other people to provide? Or if it's a product, then what is it going to take to actually make and manufacture and distribute that product? And, how much money are you going to need? How much time are you going to need? Where are you going to get the resources to invest in that kind of thing, right? And then once you've got all that figured out, you got to figure out how exactly am I going to get this product or this service in front of the people that need it? How am I going to market it so that they know that it exists? How am I going to price it? What's the plan here? Now, if you've got all of that figured out, you've really got the skeleton makings of a solid business plan, a solid pitch deck, something like that, and you're going to be well on your way. And this is the kind of time right now when these kind of really cool, innovative ideas will come out of an acute need that has emerged out of shifting market conditions. So if you can stop yourself from freaking out long enough to really be creative, to be innovative, and kind of think about what do people need right now and how can I solve the problem and how can I meet that need quickly and efficiently and with love in my heart, you're going to be able to do something really cool, and I'm really excited to hear about it. In fact, if you're doing something like this right now, I really want to hear about it. Please drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you're working on. I get really excited by entrepreneurs and all of the new innovation that's coming out right now. Listen, if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button right here. We come out with business tips several times a week, and I would love for you to follow us so that you can get these videos as soon as they come out and learn from us. We also want to learn from and hear from you. So again, drop us some comments. Let's start a dialogue. Maybe if you have a topic you want us to cover, we will absolutely do that. And always want to hear from you about that. Lastly, I have a brand new training for you guys. It is for queer entrepreneurs, how to survive and thrive in these type of economic conditions. It's here in the link description, so please check it out. Listen, I know this is a daunting time. It's a little bit scary, or a lot scary, but I promise you some really cool shit is going to come out of this, and we are going to be in love with some of the new world and the new things that we see coming out of this on the back end in a few years. I would love it if you were part of creating that new world. So go out there, let it shine. You can do it. We'll talk to you next time.